sure it's going to taste as good as it smells. That is really good. It's so much nicer than shop bought as well. Hi everyone and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make this delicious honey, tomato and ginger roast gammon ham. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make this really delicious roast gammon ham. This recipe is easy, but it is slightly time consuming. However, the efforts are worth the results. It is very tasty, and I have to say that gammon ham is slightly better for you than packet bought ham. We normally buy packet bought ham for sandwiches, but recently I've been reading the ingredients and there are quite a few in there. There are still some chemical nasties in roast gammon ham, but I think this is much tastier, and my son much prefers it when I make this to when he has packet ham in his sandwiches. So the first thing I've done for this recipe is I've got a large saucepan, and I'm going to put this onto a high heat on my hob, and I'm going to add water to the base of this pan. So I've got about 1.5 litres of water. I am going to put that onto a high hob, I promise. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the gammon. So I've been soaking this gammon for about 2 days. 1 to 2 days is perfectly okay, but if you haven't got a lot of time, then overnight is also really good as well. Soaking it just gets the excess salt out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into my saucepan, and to that I'm going to add 1 carrot that I've just simply chopped up. I've got a stick of celery that I've just simply chopped up into bits. I've got an onion that I've just quartered, and I've also left the skins on because I find when I leave the skins on, the broth from this is a lot tastier. And I've got 2 bay leaves here as well, and I've got about 8 peppercorns, and I've just got to go and get some cloves as well for this. I won't be a minute. The gammon has been simmering on the hob for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to leave this to cool completely. While this is cooling, I'm going to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. The oven has preheated, and I have drained the gammon through the colander, and now I'm going to make a glaze for the gammon. So the first thing I've done is I've weighed out all of my ingredients. So in this bowl here, I have 2 tablespoons of tamari, then I have 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, I've got a couple of tablespoons of honey, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of ginger, or 2 maybe. We like spicy, but we don't like too spicy, so I'm just going to add like a teaspoon of ginger to the tamari, and then I'm going to add all of the other ingredients. So I'm going to add the tomato puree, and of course I'm going to add the honey as well. I'm just going to pour the honey in like so, and then I'm going to mix all of those ingredients together. Waste not, want not, as my grandmother used to say. I'm going to swap that out, and then I'm going to add salt and pepper as well. So salt and pepper to your taste. Again, we like things spicy, we don't like it too spicy. And a little pinch of salt as well for the glaze. And then I'm going to mix these ingredients together, and I will grab a baking tray, and I will put the glaze over the gammon. As I said, I'm going to put the glaze on the gammon. So I'm just going to get a teaspoon or 2 to begin with, and I'm going to brush that all over the gammon and over the fat. I also just scored the fat as well, and I'll show you that in an overlay. So yeah, I've just scored the fat, and then I'm just going to brush the glaze all over the gammon and around the top and the sides as well, making sure it's all covered in this lovely glaze. And now I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes I will take it out and I will add the rest of the glaze to the gammon. The gammon has been in the oven for 15 minutes, and I'm just going to flip it over so that the other side cooks. And I'm also going to baste it with the rest of the glaze as well. So I'm just going to scrape this bowl out, and I'm going to brush the rest of the glaze around the gammon, like so, making sure I get the sides and again the bottom of the gammon as well, like that. And then I shall flip this over, put this back if I can. Don't use you can use a fork to do that. And then I'm going to pop this back into the oven for another 15 minutes. Then we'll take it out and leave it to rest, and of course once it's rested I will carve it and try some and let you know how it tastes, but this smells so good. The ham is done, so I'm going to take this out and I'm going to leave it to rest for a good 10 minutes. I've carved all the pork and I'm going to give this a little try. As I said earlier, it smells really good, so I'm sure it's going to taste as good as it smells. That is really good. It's so much nicer than shop bought as well. Doesn't feel as watery. You know when you pull shop bought ham out of a packet, it just looks like dried up water. I don't know how to describe it, but it just looks really watery. This is not watery at all. It's really meaty, and the glaze has made it really sweet as well. So yes, I'm going to go and have some of this in a salad this afternoon. Oh, and if you're wondering, my husband and son will be having this in sandwiches, and you can also have this as a main meal. As I said earlier, I'll probably make another one of these on Sunday and have it with pineapple and egg, so I'm really looking forward to that too. That's how you make this delicious roast gammon ham, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be having this in a salad this afternoon, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be watching my next video.